would like to just share a few words, and then we'll open up to let them ask questions.
Thank you.
God bless you. 我们给他一个掌声，好不好？那我们今天请古文林牧师是替他翻译 and when he will translate.
Wonderful. I want to thank Pastor Ernest and his wife Stella for their welcome.
谢谢神牧师、陈师母，他欢迎我们，欢迎我。
Wonderful to hear about what Agape Center is doing.
这边能够听到爱学园的事工，我们非常的欢喜。
And the church is coming together here for this event.
还有教会联合起来举办这个活动。
It's very, very encouraging.
非常激励人心。
Thank you all for coming tonight.
非常谢谢大家今晚抽空来。
And thank you for your patience.
谢谢大家的耐心。
I would like to introduce to you two very good friends of mine.
我想介绍我两位非常好的朋友。
Yvette Isaac and her daughter Jackie.
Yvette Isaac 跟她女儿 Jackie.
Yvette is considered as my Egyptian mother.
Yvette 是我的埃及母亲。
She has taken me to Egypt several times.
她带我去埃及好几次。
To meet heads of government.
去跟政府的官员见面。
Religious leaders.
还有宗教的领袖。
And recently we just got an invite from the Prince of Jordan.
最近约旦的王储王子邀请我们去。
I am very excited about tonight.
我今晚非常的兴奋。
Because it truly is the first night where I am interviewed by Chinese media here in America.
因为第一次在美国被华人的记者来访问。
So 你好，谢谢。
你好。Thank you. How are you?
I love Asia so much.
我非常的爱亚洲。
I have a special heart for the Chinese people.
对中国人我有个特别的一个感动。
And I'm only 30.
我才30岁。
In a couple of weeks.
还不到30岁，差几个月。
And so many years ahead of traveling back to Asia.
所以我以后还有很多时间会旅行到亚洲去。
I talk about bullying.
我讲到了霸凌。
And self-esteem, especially in the school districts.
特别在学校学区里面讲到自尊心。
I talk about disability rights.
讲到说那个残障人的权益。
And above all, people ask me, how did I change my life from a life without limits into a life without limits?
更多的是人家说怎么样能够从有限的这个身体变成无限的人生，他们很感兴趣。
And that's where I love to share my story about how friends, family, and faith has given me the strength to overcome.
所以我也喜欢跟大家分享家人跟朋友还有我的信仰帮助我克服这些困难。
Many people find it difficult to find good friends.
很多人发现找好朋友不容易。
But even when we find good friends,
但是其实找到好朋友
they can't always change our bad
这
circumstances.
些朋友也不能够改变我们不好的环境。
They can cry with you,
他们可以跟你一起哀哭，
just like your family.
就好像家人跟你一起哀哭一样。
I like to speak especially into the Chinese families
我特别想对华人家庭说一些话，
to know that we are one unit,
因为我们是一家人，
and together we are stronger.
一起我们就会比较更坚强。
And to encourage parents to show that love,
我们要鼓励家长对孩子表达他们的爱意，
to plant those seeds of love and hope and truth deliberately every day.
每天用心的把爱跟真理种在孩子的心田里。
You know, a lot of teenagers, they're not happy with themselves,
你知道青少年常常都不喜欢自己，
always wanting more,
总是想要得多，
wishing things would be different.
希望事情不一样。
But with the right family,
但是如果家庭对了，
with the right principles,
有对的原则，
we can do a lot.
我们可以一起做很多的事情。
However,
但是呢，
even though I had a wonderful family
即使我有完美的家庭、
and I had wonderful friends,
完美的朋友，
there was still something missing.
但是还有一个缺陷
And that was filled with my faith in God.
那个缺陷就是我的上帝的信心来填满。
To know that this is not it.
知道这不是就是这样而已。
I don't know about you,
我不知道你们大家怎么
but
样，
I'm a greedy person.
但是我要的更多。
I don't want to live 90 years.
我不想只活90年，
I want to live billions of
我
years.
要活几千亿年。
And some people
很多人
think that it's foolish to believe in Jesus.
觉得信耶稣很傻，
But I say it'd be foolish not to believe in him.
但是我觉得不信耶稣才傻，
The only one who proved that he was more than a man.
因为耶稣证明他不只是人，
The only one that we've seen in all history who could conquer the grave.
历代以来，他是唯一能够向我们证明他征服的坟墓的那位。
So I go around the world
所以我旅行全世界，
sharing my testimony
我跟大家分享我的见证，
about how God is my foundation.
讲到说神是我的基础，
And where I can preach, I preach.
我能够讲到我就讲到，
And where I'm not allowed to preach,
当我不能讲到的时候，
I preach in different
我
ways.
就用不同的方法来讲到，
With love
用爱来讲
and
到，
principles.
用原则来讲到。
I've now been to 44 countries,
我现在去了44个国家，
spoken to 5 million people,
跟500万人讲到，
met 7 presidents, prime ministers, and chief executives.
遇到7个国家的元首跟政府政要，
And it's been a privilege.
这是我的很大 的权
to
利，
see people's lives being touched.
看到人的生命被改变。
In my first book, Life Without Limbs,
在我第一本书《人生不设限》里，
that's the Taiwanese version,
这是台湾的版本，
I was number 1 in Taiwan.
在台湾是第一，销售第一。
And we are going back to Taiwan
我们后来又回到台湾去，
next year,
在明年
Hong Kong,
香港、
Macau,
澳门，
and World Rowing China.
如果主许可的话，包括中国。
We believe that in every culture we are all looking for hope.
我们相信，在每个文化里面都在找寻盼望，
We're looking for purpose.
在找寻意义。
I used to be wishing that I had arms and legs as a kid.
我小时候非常希望我能够长出手跟脚来，
I thought that's the way I was going to be happy.
我以为那样子我就会快乐了。
But then I saw many people
但是我看到很多的人，
with arms and legs,
他们有手有脚的，
but still not happy.
但仍然不快乐。
So it's not the outside that completes us.
所以不是外面使我们完全。
But I did not have faith in God as a kid.
但是我小时候对上帝并没有信心。
I actually tried to commit suicide.
事实上，我曾经想过自杀。
At age 10, I felt like I had no hope.
10岁的时候，我失去所有的盼望。
To have faith
要有信心呢，
is to believe in something you do not see.
是要相信你所看不见的那一位。
It's only a gift from God
只有上帝可以给这样的礼物，
that He gives to all.
他赐给每一个人这个礼物。
If we hear the Bible
如果我们能够注意圣经的话，
and we pray,
我们祷告的话，
faith grows.
信心会增长。
For me,
对我来说，
I felt like God wasn't real.
我觉得神并不真实。
What purpose do I have?
我人生有什么意义呢？
I'm not going to get married.
我不会有结婚的，
I can't do anything.
我什么都做不到，
I can't get a job.
我也找不到工作，
What kind of a provider am I going to be?
我怎么能够供养家人呢？
What kind of a father is that I can't even pick up my kids when they're crying?
我都孩子哭的时候我都不能抱他们，我是什么样的父亲呢？
Today,
但是
I've realized that I don't need to hold my wife's hand to hold her heart.
今天我明白，要能够掌握我的太太，不是牵着她的手，乃是握着她的心。
And I know that my kids,
我知道我的孩子，
by the way, my wife and I are pregnant, 6 months
顺便
pregnant.
要
But we'll have our own special way of hugging.
我们有我们特别的拥抱的方式。
So I've realized
所以我发现，
that in my life, my wife needs not an excellent provider,
我的太太不是要我变成一个非常棒的一个供应她的丈夫，
but a godly man who trusts in the provider.
而是一位那种合神心意的一个男人，能够信靠上帝。
And for my kids,
而对我的孩子来讲，
more than an excellent college, they need an excellent father.
我们的孩子不是只是要进入到卓越的大学，乃是要有个卓越的父亲。
These are things that I've learned
这些是我学到
and I
的，
like to share.
我愿意跟大家分享。
At 15,
我15岁的时候，
I gave my life to Jesus
我把我的生命奉献给耶
when
稣
I。read about a man who was born blind.
我听说有一个人生来是残废，
People asked why.
别人问他为什么，
Now, I was born this way
我天生就是这样，
with no arms, no legs,
没手没脚的，
for no medical reason.
没有原因的。
People asked me why.
你要问我为什么？
Why were you born this way?
为什么你生来这样？
Kids would come up
小孩子会上
and
来，
say, What happened?
说到底发生什么事？
I'd say cigarettes.
说是因为你抽烟。
But for me,
但是对我
I
来讲，
didn't know the answer.
我不知道我的答案，
I wanted to know the answer.
我想知道答案，
I got my answer.
我得到我的答案。
Jesus said that the blind man was born that way so that the works of God would be revealed through him.
耶稣说，那人生来是瞎眼的，为的是让上帝得荣耀。
And I said, God,
我就说神啊，
forgive me of my sin.
求你原谅我的罪，
Thank you for coming into my life
谢谢你进入到我生命，
and setting me free from the biggest disabilities,
让我从最大的残障中间释放出来。
sin
罪、
and death.
死，
Arms and legs or not,
不管有手或者没有脚，
you can heal my heart.
你都可以医治我的心。
Now today,
今天呢，
I have a pair of shoes in my closet just in case God says yes.
我今天我衣服里面有一个跳伞、降落伞，万一神说我可以开始飞的话，
But I'm complete.
但是我已经得完
I'm
成，
full of joy,
我充满了喜乐，
the joy of Jesus.
耶稣的喜乐。
Yes, we all have ups and downs,
是的，我们都有上上下下，
but with God,
但是有神，
we can be carried
我们都可以被他扶持，
one step at a time.
一步一步的扶持的走。
At 19,
我16岁的时候
I started speaking.
开始讲道，
It's 10 years ago.
是10年前，
And since then,
从那个时候
I
开
have
始，
now 30,000 invitations for me to speak.
我一年有3万的邀请，
I've spoken 2,000 times.
我一次就说了讲了2000场，
We've seen 500,000 souls say yes to Jesus.
看到有50万的人接受耶稣做他们的救主，
We're so thankful.
我们非常的感恩，
We're thankful for the Chinese church,
我们为中国教会感恩，
not just back at home, but here.
不只是在其他地方，在这边更是。
I believe God has given especially California an interesting mix of cultures.
相信神给我们加州中间有非常美好的各种种族的混杂在一起。
I feel that there are cultures that have been sent here by God to be missionaries to this nation.
我觉得全世界各地在宣教士到加州来成为美国的宣教。
It's exciting to see approximately 100 churches come together tonight.
今天晚上看到100个教会在当中，
And I just pray that tonight will impact many people.
我们就祷告今天晚上能够触动许多人的心。
I want to encourage you as reporters.
我们要鼓励各位在座的记者，
The first turning point in my life
在我生命中第一个转捩点，
was when I read a story about a man with a disability.
就是读到一个有残障的一个人的故事，
And it was a positive story.
是一个很正面的故事。
It's always easier to find a negative story than a positive story.
我们很容易看到负面的，但是我们也要看到正面的。
But when you do put in the effort
但是你如果努力的话，
and you ask God for the opportunities
你求神给你机会的话，
and you report a positive piece,
你可以把正面的报道出来。
they're out there.
他们有很多正面的故事
I'm
现
not the
在。
only inspiring person.
我不是唯一激励大家的人，还有很多其他的
But
故
as
事。
reporters,
但是当做新闻记者，
you will never know the impact of your stories.
你永远不会知道你的故事都会影响人。
So do your best
所以，请你们尽力而为，
and let God do the rest.
然后让上帝来做他做的那一份。
You play an important part.
你扮演了一个非常重要的角色。
Lastly,
最后呢，
I have two things to share.
我有2件事情要分享。
This is my new book.
这是我的新的书，
It's called Unstoppable.
叫做《不能够止息的》。
Foreign rights are now being sold.
现在已经开始在出卖。
So I imagine this to be in Asia probably next year.
相信明年就会在亚洲开始华文出版。
And it's a book where I share about how my wife and I met
这本书里我讲到我跟我的太太怎么样相遇，
and how the word unstoppable is powerful,
就是那个永不止息这个字有多么的大，充满大能。
not in the sense of me being bulletproof,
不是说人家凌霸我不受伤，
but when we are carried by the unstoppable God, that's when we become unstoppable.
而是我们有个永不停止、永不止息的爱的上帝，使我们也永不停止。
So to know that Nick Vujicic isn't a superhero.
所以你看到我并不是超人的英雄。
The world says,
世界上说，
just have a positive attitude so that you can cope with everything.
你只要有一个积极正面的态度，你就可以克服一切。
The Bible says,
但是圣经是这么说，
lean upon Jesus
要等候神，等候耶稣，
and he will carry you
耶稣会带着你走，
one day at a time.
一天一步一步的走，
You can't do this on your own.
你自己做不来的，
And that's the freedom.
那就是一个自由，
In my personal walk with God,
是我跟上帝同行的自由。
my real walk with the real God
我与真正的上帝真正的同行的时候，
is all the difference.
就会让你人生就不再一样。
Lastly,
最后呢，
my website,
我的那个网站
lifewithoutlimbs.org,
就是 lifewithoutlimbs.org，
you'll see my whole story.
你会看到我所有的故事。
On my advisory board
在我的那个鼓励的那一专栏
is Yvette Isaac.
是 Yvette Asset，
We are going together
我们2个会一起
on the 12th of December
12月12号
for 3 days
有3天，
to be with 15,000 refugee kids
我们会跟15000个难民营的孩子，
and another 10,000 women
还有1万个妇女，
from the Syrian civil war.
从那个叙利亚的内战，
They just came back from the camp.
他们刚刚从难民营回来，
They were there with the prince.
他们跟那个王储在一起。
We are having a press conference
我们会有新闻记者会，
on the 12th of December.
在12月12号，
You are all invited.
你们也被邀请在当中。
We are going to be talking about love
我们要谈论爱、
and peace.
平安，
And no matter what religion we are,
不管什么样的宗教，
that we can come together on love
我们可以在爱的基础上合而为一，
to help these kids,
然后帮助这些难民营
to
的孩
help
子，
these women,
帮助这些女人，
to not judge and divide.
不要来彼此论断，以至于分裂。
So on the 12th of December,
所以12月12号，
the head of the Muslim,
那个穆斯林的
the sheikh, is going to be there.
穆斯林的那个长官，他会在那边发生。
The prince will be there.
然后约旦的那个王子
We are, we are also inviting strategic people.
我们也邀请一些很有策略性的一些人物。
So if you'd like to become a part of that, let us know.
所以你如果有兴趣的话，请让我知道。
We believe there are going to be many media.
我们相信会有很多的媒体参
There's
与，
already been commitment
已经有一些那个有人愿意委身，
from some networks
从一些网站的
to
那
be
个，
there for 12-12-12.
他们是2012年12月12号会在那里，
They're going to be recording me,
他们会录影，
speaking to these kids.
然后跟这些孩子说话，
And also we're right now fundraising
而且我们可以募款，
We are getting blankets and toys
我们现在会的想要拿到一些毛毯还有玩具，
for these kids.
然后为这些孩子来保暖。
It snows in Jordan,
在约旦正在下雪，
and if they do not have blankets,
没有这些雪衣毛毯的话，
some may die because of the cold.
可能因为很冷，有的人可能会死去。
So toys, blankets,
所以玩具还有毛毯、
different things like that, shoes,
鞋子等等，
and packages.
还有包裹，
We are shipping out a container.
我们可以一箱箱运过去。
So that website
所以那个网站
is roadsofsuccess.com.
是 roadtosuccess.com。
Roads of success.
Roads of Success。
Roadsofsuccess.com. And we have brochures to give out if you want more information.
这边也有一些单张，如果大家有兴趣的话可以去买。
So tonight's offering
所以今天晚上我们收奉献
is，going to that.
我会这样走奉款。
So I'd like you to mention that in your story, please.
希望在你的故事里面能够提到这一点，
And that website.
还有那个网站。
So thank you so much.
谢谢大家，
God bless you.
上帝祝福你们，
How do you say that?
上帝祝福你们。
Shanti Jufuni.
Yes。
谢谢。
再见。